Brilliant. Well, thanks everyone for coming along and enduring this crazy, sweaty greenhouse that we're in. Today, I'm going to talk about disrupting the creative production process. Just to give you guys a bit of context, how we kind of see things is, as digital media has progressed and transformed, we believe that the creative production process has stood still. We've seen a massive, massive change across all things digital. And I'm actually going to take you through a little bit of a journey to talk about the problem, and then I'll talk a little bit about the solution as well. So, cast your minds back to 2006. It was a very, very, very different time. Does anybody recognize this Facebook profile page or the look and feel of it? This is what it used to look like. I'm sure there's people in this room that probably never had to go through this type of pain, but it wasn't available on mobile. You could poke people. Who remembers poking? Anybody? Yeah, there we go. Good. The other pain that we all went through as youth was things like the Motorola Razr. There was no such thing as smartphones. Google had just attempted to, Yahoo had actually turned down the chance to buy Google, which would have been crazy. YouTube had launched, but also you can notice that there's no ads on Facebook. It was a very, very, very different time and place. Even from my personal point of view, I was working at, I just moved to Yahoo actually, and we used to do deals over the phone, and we used to get insertion orders via the fax machine. So the fax machine would ding, and the whole sales floor would run over and go, who's it for, who's it for, who's it for? However, this was the creative production process. I'm sure, has everyone here seen Mad Men? Lots of nodding heads, good, good. So that's what the creative production process was. Very much led by those big, wonderful, traditional creative agencies. So the next part of the journey is between 2007 and 2015. A few things here happened very significantly in this time. So Google bought DoubleClick, Facebook launched ads. Both of these really transformed online advertising and made it, it was the start of the journey of where we're at today. In 2010, Instagram was launched, and in 2013, they started to monetize that platform as well. The other significant thing was the explosion of smartphones. So, we went from the first iterations of the iPhone and Galaxies and those guys, all the way through to smartphones that are fairly similar to what we have today. Finally, programmatic advertising. Towards the latter stages of this time, we saw a whole new way of buying digital media. Long gone were the days of insertion orders, fax machines, and that sort of thing. We would use single platforms that would give us access to hundreds and hundreds of websites and allow you to trade programmatically. However, still, the creative production process was by and large led by those big creative agencies. Finally, we move into more recent times. So from 2016 onwards, a few things again have happened to help shape the problem. So first of all, we saw more social channels emerge. TikTok, Snap, Pinterest. We saw more ways of buying programmatic media. So the Trade Desk really kind of helped move things a little bit away from Google. Google and Meta, as they're now known, obviously dominate that space, but there's lots of challenger brands that offer alternatives. We saw the explosion of digital out-of-home, smart TV, streaming sites. All these are being monetized. So many different ad placements, so many different formats, so many different opportunities for brands and advertisers. But despite this constant evolution in ad and martech, the creative piece, by and large, still didn't really catch up at the same pace. So now we're in 2022. The creative production process really does need to move on. So at Shutterrock, we kind of took all this on board, went back to the drawing board, and came back with a new solution to help process this creative production. And it's one that is completely focused on the modern marketer. Creative as a service. So this is a combination of people, process, and technology, and it helps tackle some of those key challenges which I'll now dig into. The first one is speed. Everything is instant these days, right? You see something nice, you take a picture, and you put it on Instagram. You'll put it on TikTok. Everything is all about the instant here and now. Brands need to stay on top of market trends quick adaptations are needed. They need to combat ad fatigue. There's lots of things that need to happen. We've seen traditional brands like Gucci rip up their rulebook and stay on top of things like hashtag challenges to make sure they're engaging with audiences in real time. However, it's very hard using traditional methods of creative production to keep on top of this. I'm sure everybody's got an inbox probably sat here while we speak, which is getting more emails, and more emails. What we see is brands might send copy in one email. They might send large files through a platform like WeTransfer. Someone might get missed off an email chain. It's very hard to keep the cogs turning and do it quickly. The second is scalability. As I've kind of spoken about, there's a huge amount of choice. Lots of different channels, lots of different touch points. There's also lots of different platforms within each of those as well. So for example, you can't just have a social strategy. You have to have a strategy for Facebook. You have to have one for TikTok, one for Pinterest. All very different, all different users, all different ad formats. You need to be able to adopt strong test and learn approaches. This is really, really important as marketers understand the new platforms, what's working, what's not working. At the moment, we're seeing that marketers have to choose quality or scale. Creative agencies that I spoke about are brilliant for those wonderful TVCs and those big overarching top-notch creative ideas, but it's very hard to scale. On the flip side, there's some wonderful technologies, fully automated, which can churn out lots of different iterations of creative. They're great for things like fast retail, where you want to test lots of different price points, lots of different colors of jumpers, t-shirts, whatever it is, whatever that product might be. But modern marketers now really need scale and quality. So kind of in the middle, what's kind of sitting there? And it all comes back to affordability. This has and is always so important, especially in today's climate more than ever. Things like billable hours, unit-based pricing. It's very easy for costs to scale out of control. Being billed by the hour, which can be very hard to control and budget for by marketers. This can be very restrictive and forces marketers to make big compromises, big choices. Quality, speed, scale, there has to be some sort of trade-off and compromise somewhere. However, marketers do need to be able to plan better. They need to be able to do this quickly and confidently. So it all comes back to creative as a service. We believe that there shouldn't have to be a compromise when it comes to this. When all these things are combined, CAS enables marketers to quickly and affordably produce creative at speed and at scale. Like I was saying, there is always a trade-off. But however, with CAS, there doesn't have to be a compromise. To back this up, we ran some research with an independent report, and this benchmarked CAS versus more traditional methods. What we found is CAS is faster and more affordable. But what I'm not trying to say is we're not here to replace these traditional methods. We're here to complement them, to enable them, to help them be better, help them be faster. And used in the right way, it should be bolted on to all these other great services. We work with agencies, we work with production studios, we work with lots of in-house agencies, facilities, brands directly. We're here to help enable everything, so you can get speed, you can get quality, you can get affordability. Finally, to wrap things up, I just wanted to take over 3 key points for you guys to take away with. First of all, as we discussed, the landscape is ever evolving, it's constantly changing, but the creative process has to try and keep up with this because it's so important for marketers to be able to be agile and scalable with their creative production. And finally, CAS hopefully can help you guys do that. We are aiming to help you create without compromise. And that's it. So, any questions?
Any questions from the room? Oh.
Hi Darren, nice to meet you earlier. Was there an idea where the company got its like formation from? Like, what led to this company sort of coming into reality? If that makes sense.
So, actually, we're a long way from home. We're a Kiwi company, and it literally came out of constant communication with clients. So the whole Creativa solution was an involvement of pre-existing activities and relationships with clients where they just wanted more. They just wanted more scale, and they wanted to be able to achieve all those sort of things. So again, for the case of us, it was really evolving our product from kind of like one-off ad hoc projects into something that was more scalable, where we could really ingrain ourselves with brands and advertisers and help them achieve all those things that they wanted to achieve without bursting the bank.